Joining us now is retired Lieutenant Commander from the NYPD, Joe Cardinal, and Chris Pierson. He's the CEO of Black Cloak, a concierge cybersecurity and privacy protection service for corporate executives. Great to have you both with us. Joe, these images that we've seen that were just released in the last couple of hours by the NYPD show the suspect is a white man, but we really don't have much more than that to go on. His face is almost completely covered. These are images taken from, we think it might be a coffee shop, some sort of business establishment, just a short time before the shooting. He could have ditched all those clothes and that gray backpack by now.
I'm sure he did. That's, what the speculation is as to why he was carrying the backpack, that he planned this well in advance, as you stated, and he had his escape route going, and at one point he knew where he was going to change those clothes, and they will follow that path as far as they can and take it from there into Central Park, if that, in fact, is where he went to. So, everything is going to hinge on the cameras and putting a timeline and a frame-by-frame approach to where his directions went, and pick up more cameras from the stores, from everybody that's, associated with the programs with the NYPD, and they will start piecing this together. But this, make no mistake about it, this is well planned.
Yeah, they'll also be looking, because there are tons of surveillance cameras in that area, Joe, they'll also be looking at working backwards, right? Where did he come from? Trying to find images of him arriving, and then trace it back further and further.
Absolutely, and not only going back from that day, they'll go back a couple of days to see what they can find on surveillance footage, to see, if he actually walked the area, scoped the area out, which he may have very well done. And, he, as you said, he planned this out to the point that he came up. My question is, he had to have intimate knowledge of this to know that this is the precise time that Mr. Thompson was going to walk by there, and he came out calm, cool, and collective, comes out, takes his stance, fires. And let me tell you something, that's somebody who's pretty trained in, who knows firearms. I'm not going to say trained extensively, but knows to, to tap it, to eject that round, get another round in there, and he gets off several shots anyways, but all in a calm manner. He didn't panic at all,
right.
Reach-aim it. And the fact that, you had one witness that said that they heard the shots. Everybody thinks the silencer is going to, muffle the sound completely. It doesn't. It minimizes it to a degree. And the fact that this might be, for lack of another word, a street silencer that that does throw it off, and it does hamper the rechambering of another round. But he knew enough about that piece that he would just rechamber it himself, get that round out. That's why they found live rounds at the scene.
Chris, the shooter obviously knew exactly what time Brian Thompson was going. He arrived extra early. The conference wasn't supposed to start until 8. He was walking into the Hilton Hotel at about 6:40 a.m. That Hilton Hotel is massive with tons of entrances. He was walking into a side entrance. So what does that tell you about surveillance or inside information?
I mean, look, the lives of executives, board members, C-suite individuals, especially for large Fortune 500 companies, it's well known where they're going to be. This happened to be an investor meeting. It's well known where they're going to be located, potentially which hotel they're going to be at, where they're going to be traversing from point A to point B. And so as a result, that pattern of life becomes really, really important in terms of the pre-work that is being done here. This could be coming in from sources that are open source intelligence, items that are on the company's website, information that's put up by the company itself, obviously to investors.
But Chris, in this case, he's been in New York City just since Monday. He's staying at a different hotel. The gunman knew what time that he would be getting there quite a bit earlier than he needed to be there, and he knew which entrance, and he knew he wasn't standing at that hotel entrance for an hour waiting. He was there only a few minutes before Brian Thompson showed up.
It's been very well researched, very well planned, very well resourced in terms of things. So this is one area that they're going to have to look into in terms of, are there leaks? Is there information that was set out there from the company? Is there information that was set out from others around the area? Is there information that was gleaned from the hotel and from others that were servicing that investor meeting? Definitely something that took resources, time, and planning, and was set in forth set in motion probably a few weeks ahead of time, at least.
Super quick, Chris, I'm curious if he'd been getting threats. Are you surprised that he was walking around New York City without any security?
It is, look, corporate executives face executive protection risks all the time in terms of threats, in terms of people that are complaining. Those close protection teams really do work with board members, C-suite executives to turn up the level of protection when different risks are there. We'll have to learn more because there is really a lot of vitriol and a lot more discord that's coming in on social media these days. And so this is kind of a constant stream of information and negativity that comes in. Right. Picking out if there was any increased level is going to be important in the next few days.
And Joe, super quick, given all your time with the new NYPD, is it surprising to you that, we're now like almost 12 hours later and we still don't have an arrest?
No, it's not surprising at all, especially in a case like this. You have to remember that they're going to take this every step of the way. They have to take it. They have to make sure that all the information they're getting is bona fide information. They have a vehicle that they have to find that was to the left of the victim when the perp was firing his gun, and they have a person. I couldn't make out who it was, right. But a person that ran from the right side as well. So they're working every angle of this, and they're going to release information as needed. I'm very happy that they released the photos and everything for the public to make an identification if they could. But they're going to do a victimology on Mr. Thompson. They're going to find out. They're going to delve into his recent and his past and find out if there's any bona fide threats that may have followed him all the way here to New York City.
Right. He's from Minnesota, here in the city for a few days, along with about 1 million other people who are all here for the Rockefeller Center tree lighting, which is happening 4 blocks away from where the murder happened. Extraordinary set of circumstances. All right, Joe Cardinal, Chris Pierson, thank you both so much for lending us your expertise tonight.
You're welcome.
All right, coming up, we're going to turn to Capitol Hill.